Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Christian Independent High School Interclass Debate Competition. Our topic today is plastic bag and packaging should be banned. On my right is the government team from PA, consisting of Mr. Lishan Yu as the first speaker, Mr. Felix as the second speaker, Mr. Yo Kai Jie as the third speaker, and Mr. Ui Shan Han as the fourth speaker. And on my left is the opposition team from PA, consisting of Ms. Chi Ping as the first speaker, Ms. Lo Jing Chen as the second speaker, Ms. Teo Min Min as the third speaker, and Ms. Ching Jin Yen as the fourth speaker. Now I would like to introduce our team of adjudicators, Mr. Jeffrey as the chief adjudicator, and the other adjudicators are Ms. Rebecca and Mr. Mohan. I, Yun Han, will be the chairperson for this debate, and Yu Heng will be the timekeeper. Now I am going to introduce the rules of today's debate competition. Firstly, the maximum speaking duration is 5 minutes for each speaker and 4 minutes for reply speech. There is no extra time given. Next, during the rebuttal, members should not bring up any new arguments or new evidence except on direct refutation of material which has already been presented. Then, member will only speak when called upon by the speaker. There should not be any heckling. Besides, all speakers should attempt to both deliver at least one POI and to accept one POI during the course of the debate. There is no continuous POI allowed. It is considered as heckling. Furthermore, the first minute of each constructive speech is considered protected time during which no POI can be made. In addition, no POI and new main point may be made during the reply speech. Moreover, the government team must define the resolution. Their definition must be accepted unless it is undebatable or unreasonable. Lastly, is the time allocated for the competition. Time given is 5 minutes. The first bell will ring after the speaker speaks for 1 minute like this. After 1 minute, member of the opposition team can then raise the POI. After the speaker has spoken for 4 minutes, the bell will ring like this. POI can still be made after this. POI time given is 15 seconds. After the bell rang, the speaker will have to stop. And after the speaker has spoken for 5 minutes, the bell will ring twice like this. The speaker has to stop. Now I will call upon the first speaker of the government to present his case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
A very good morning towards a panel of adjudicators, honorable judges, and fellow opponents, the precise timekeepers, and my amazing teammates here. We, the affirmative team, define the topic as we should officially or legally prohibit plastic packaging, which is a one-time use wrap to protect goods by a material that can change its shape. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. Today, as the first speaker, I will be giving out my first point. The second speaker, Felix, will be giving out the rebuttal towards the negative team and giving out our team's second point, which is plastic will affect your health. Kai Jie, the third speaker, will be rebutting the negative team and strengthening and summarizing our team's case. Sean, as the last speaker, will be giving out the reply speech and summarizing the whole debate. According to the World Wide Web Toronto Environment Organization, a few countries have banned plastic such as Italy, China, Bangladesh, and many more. And 36 countries have allowed plastic but with taxes enforced. Some states even independently ban plastic, such as in Canada, the town of Leaf Rapids, Manitoba, have banned plastic bags. In other North American cities such as San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, Portland, and Mexico City has also banned plastic bags. The use of plastic bags can also bring death to wildlife, such as we all know the turtles. According to the World Wide Web, Marine Litter Solutions commercial, plastic waste in the ocean is 26%. This marine waste is responsible for approximately 1,000 turtles' deaths each year. Also, why would we use plastic bags when we have a better alternative such as reusable wraps? Thank you.
Thank you. The first speaker has spoken for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Next, first speaker of the opposition to present the case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
A very happy morning to our honorable educators and my respectful friends on the other side. Our topic of today's debate is plastic bags and packaging should be banned. We disagree with this because it gives us an easier and better life. I, as the first speaker, will be giving the definitions of today's debate, providing some context and giving out my team's first point, which is plastic bags can affect our environment. Jin Chen, as the second speaker, will be giving the government team and giving out my team's second point, which is banning plastic bags will influence our economy. Meaning, as the third speaker, will be rebutting the government team and stressing our team's case. And Chien will be giving the reply speech and summarizing our team's case. Before I begin my argument, let me define the meaning of plastic bags. Plastic bags are a kind of flexible containers in which we carry our goods. They are byproducts of petroleum and very useful to us all. Dear teachers and friends, I believe that we shouldn't ban the usage of plastic bags. It is because it actually protects our environment. If we keep using paper bags instead of plastic bags, we need to cut down more trees to make more papers. If we keep on cutting trees for producing papers, the animals which depending on the trees to survive will lose their homes and will be homeless and start wandering on the roads, which could endanger their life. That is why I am saying that using plastic bags can reduce clearing of forests and can actually save our Mother Earth. Therefore, to save our Earth and our animals, we should use plastic bags. Thank you.
Thank you. The first speaker has spoken for 2 minutes and 1 second. Next, second speaker of the government to present his case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning, I am Felix, which is the second speaker of the government team. I will be talking about our team's second and third point, which is climate change and health. Now I will talk about our team's second point. That for the climate. Plastic is a petroleum-based material, and when burn it, like any other fossil fuel, it releases climate pollution. This can lead to rising sea levels, increased ocean and air toxicity, and destruction of coral reefs. And according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, burning plastic is notably the worst possible end of life management approach for plastic from a climate perspective. Gasification, pyrolysis, and plasma incinerator are even less efficient and generating electricity than mass burn incinerator, and often supplement waste with coal and other fossil fuel in order to produce energy. And to my third point, health. Burning plastic incineration cause air pollution, dioxin emission, cost overrun. Plastic waste constitutes between 60% to 80% of marine debris and is one of the world's most pervasive pollution problems impacting our oceans and waterways. According to the UN, it is also dangerous for human health. Burning plastic and other waste release dangerous substances such as heavy metal, persistent organic pollutants, and other toxins into the air and waste release. Experience looking at the fuel commercial scale gasification, pyrolysis, and power facilities that have actually processed municipal such as pollutants contribute to the cause of asthma, cancer, and the global burden of disease. Persistent organic pollutants travel long distance and ultimately deposit into the ocean and polar ice cap, where they can absorb onto other plastic, marine microplastic, bioaccumulating up the food chain, threatening human health. After all of this, you might still think, why do we even need to burn it? We can get rid of plastic waste in so many other ways. Why do we have it burn it? This because it is the most fast and convenient way to get rid of plastic waste, and burning plastic will take thousands of millions of years to decompose. And now I rest my case here. Thank you.
Thank you. The second speaker of the government has spoken for 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Next, second speaker of the opposition to present her case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning, leader of judges. I am Jing Chen as the second speaker of the opponent meeting. I will bring out my team's second and third point, which to support the plastic bag and packaging should not be banned. The first speaker say that we must use reusable bag, but plastic bag and packaging can also be used many times. So why we need to throw the plastic bag and use the new plastic bag for a lot of time? We can reuse the plastic bag, and it's not easier to be broken. And they also say that using plastic bag will cause air pollution and water pollution. That's the people's attitude problems, not the problem of the plastic. If the humans do not burn the plastic bag and not throw the plastic bag into the ocean, then why the problem? Then how can this problem will be begin? For my first point, plastic bag and packaging should not be banned. If we ban it, our economy will be influenced. The plastic is a material which is very cheap, so a lot of the merchants will use it to pack their commodity. If they change the material which is more expensive than the plastic, the price of commodity should of course will be increased. Now the continual rise of the commodity price have made every family increase their economical burden. Next, if we ban the plastic bag and packaging, some person will lose their job. Then how they maintain their expenditure. Next, third point is plastic bag and packaging should not be banned. Plastic bag and packaging is a great invention, one of the world. If we ban it, just like we retrogress to before 19th century, the purpose of the inventor who invented the plastic bag and packaging is hope we will be progress. Why nowadays we need to ban the things make us progress? Is unresponsive as reasonable. So I think we should not ban the plastic bag and packaging. Thank you.
Thank you. The second speaker of the opposition has spoken for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Next, third speaker of the government to present his case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
Very good morning to the honorable adjudicators, the members of the floor, my worthy opponents, and of course my teammates. I'm Kaijet, the third speaker from the government team, and as the third speaker, I'll be giving out the rebuttals to the opposition team and summarizing up my team's case. The first point, I'll be now going into the rebuttals. The first point given from the opposition team was it can make our life easier and better. But for your own convenience, this is a very selfish point. Why? Because of your own convenience, you are hurting our environment, you are hurting animals, you are hurting our own wildlife, you are hurting our earth. At the same time, you are hurting your own health. And then you said that using plastic bags can be more safe for the environment. But if we use, and you said that if you use paper bags, it'll cut down more trees. It'll cut down more trees and it'll hurt the wildlife living in the trees. But no, we didn't say that we have to use paper bags. We can use recyclable bags. The bags that we use daily, that we bring to school, these bags are all reusable, washable. You can use it for a few years. And why do you need to use paper bags? And even if you use paper bags, at least they are decomposable. But if you use plastic bags, it'll take, as my second speaker said, it'll take thousands to millions of years to actually decompose in the soil and actually hurt our soil, and that land might not be able to plant any more trees or essentially any more plants. And the second point given from the opposition team was that it's cheap and it'll be a very big, it'll have a hit in our economy and lose our jobs. But no, if like someday when we have a new phone, let's say that when we started we only had Nokia, the old phones, but now we have so many other companies such as Huawei, Oppo, iPhone, Apple. These are very big phone companies, but without Nokia getting smaller and smaller, these companies can get up. But without these companies, most people will not have their jobs. So if now we still have one company which focus on these things and no other companies trying to beat them to get their economy, how can more people get jobs? The population in our earth is getting higher and higher, and if you don't get new companies, most new people, most child might not be able to get jobs in the future. And I'll end with my rebuttal, and now I'm going into my team's points. As my first speaker said, plastic bags can hurt wildlife. As we all know, turtles. Marine waste is a very big problem to sea life, the ocean life, and plastic is 26% of the marine waste. And considering, you might think that 26% is not a very high amount, but considering how big the ocean is, it's actually not a small amount. It's actually much bigger than you think. At the coast of California, a few kilometers off the coast of California, there's an island which is mainly made out of plastic waste. And now I'll go into the second point given for my team, which is plastic is is bad for the planet because of its toxic levels, as it is made from petroleum. And the point given from my team is that it will cause our own health problems. As plastic burn, they might not be able to burn every single piece of plastic, which can turn into microplastics, which can hurt our health when you breathe it in. This is like it constitutes to 60 and 80% of marine debris, and it can also cause to asthma and cancers, and it is a very big burden of disease in our world. And with that, I end my case. Thank you.
Thanks. The third speaker of the government has spoken for 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Next, third speaker of the opposition to present the case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
A very good morning to the honorable judges and my respected opponents. I am Min, the third speaker of the opposition team. I will be making the rebuttals and strengthen my team's case. Just now, the first speaker from the government team said that in recent years, countries around the globe are carrying out plastic reducing activities, banning out plastic bags and packaging. That plastic was even included as the 50 worst invention in history. But most do not know that the main intention of plastic invention is to save the earth. Plastic bag was invented by Stan Gustav Berlin in the 1960s. Before that, people all used reusable bags, such as paper bags. Yes, we know that papers are compostable and eco-friendly, but is it really harmless to the globe or the earth? I don't think so. Papers.
You said that paper bags are not eco-friendly, not that eco-friendly, but we did not say that paper bags are eco-friendly at the same time. So, thank you.
So I'm giving my point that I think that I agree that plastic bags should not be banned. Like papers are made from trees. Just now you say that you are not going to use paper bags, but many people still use paper bags because they think it is like eco-friendly, but it is cut down from trees. But you said the third speaker said that the plastic had harmed the marine life form, but did you think about when deforestation occurs, it damaged the whole life ecosystem? When trees were cut down to make paper and trees were cut down to cotton plantation, it caused deforestation and global warming. So it damages the whole life ecosystem. Animals will lose their habitats, and some might even be endangered due to starvation. In last, people will also be included in this disaster. So is plastic bag really harmful? If we use it in the right way, I profoundly believe that plastic should not be banned. But the humans should be educated to use them in the right way. And just now the second speakers say that. Just now the first speaker said that we must replace plastic with reusable containers. But do you know that most of the reusable containers are made from fabric, fiber, and cotton? During the plantation of these things, it needs a huge and flat area and lots of water. Again, when trees were cut down to plant these things, it caused soil erosion and floods, if we ban plastic, how can we store our food fresh for a long duration? And like beverage, we need a huge amount of glasses to contain these things. Glasses are made from quartz and limestone. These are non-renewable resources. These materials are more harmful to the earth because it cannot be regenerated. So I profoundly agree that plastic bags and packaging should not be banned because it is not the problem of the plastic bag. It is the mind and thoughts of every individual which should be banned. Like the second speaker said that plastic is a dangerous item, so it should be banned. Like the knife is also a dangerous item. Should we ban them too? The third speaker says that chemicals in plastic or packages releases toxic gas when it reacts to heat, like causing asthma or cancer. But do you know that we can use this gas in a very different way? Scientists have verified that the toxic gas produced by these plastic bags can be used as fuels. So it depends on how you handle these things. You see, banning plastic bag is just a temporary method. But if we handle it in the right way, it won't bring harm. But it brings benefits that affect the world in the future life. So even the government team tried to tell you plastic bags are enemies to humankind, we, the opposition team, strongly believe that plastic bags should not be banned. Now I'm going to my team's point. Just now my first speaker said that plastic makes our life easier because it can reduce waste of papers and cottons like these things which are renewable. So it can make our life easier. Then the second speaker of my team said that it brings the development to our country. Now I end my rebuttal speech. Thank you.
Then the third speaker of the opposition has spoken for 5 minutes and 6 seconds. The first, second, and third speaker from the government and the opposition have delivered their speech. Before the both teams deliver the reply speech, each team will be given 2 minutes to discuss. Start now. Alright, the discussion time is up. Here are the rules for a reply speech. After the speaker has spoken for 3 minutes, the bell will ring like this. And after the spoken for 4 minutes, the bell will ring twice. The speaker has to stop. Now is the time for a reply speech. We will now invite the opposition to present for reply speech. Time given is 4 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning to my fellow agitators. I am Qilian, the fourth speaker of the opposite team. I will be giving the reply speech and summarizing our team case today. We profoundly believe that plastic bag and packaging should not be banned because it protects our environment and will be developed in economy and our nation. The thing should be banned is not the plastic bag, but every individual's thought